Where are they now? Every #1 recruit in the nation since 2000. Let's dive into it. The year's 2000, and the #1 ranked recruit in the nation is Ryan Boyle, an attackman at a Gilman school in Maryland and attended Princeton. He got onto campus in 2001 and did not stutter. During his time as a Tiger, Ryan was the Ivy League Player of the Year, 3-time All-American, won 4 Ivy League championships in a row, and helped the Tigers to the 2001 National Championship. This guy was legit, a shifty playmaker that always had the ball in the back of the net. He then got drafted to the MLL, and just his first year was the Rookie of the Year. In his career, he was a 5-time All-Star and a member of the USA team in 2002, 2006, and 2010. Fun fact, actually, Mikey Powell was ranked under Ryan at #2 in this class. He is currently the co-founder and CEO of Trilogy Lacrosse and broadcasts some lacrosse games on ESPN and is the voice of the PLL. 2001, we have Johnny Christmas, an attackman at a Lower Merion high school that attended UVA, the same high school as Kobe Bryant. Christmas played at UVA from 2002 to 2005. This guy was one of the shiftiest college lacrosse players ever. I put him up there with Sowers, Woodson. Like, this guy could cut on a dime. While at UVA, Johnny was a 2-time All-American and 2-time ACC selection, while helped leading UVA to a 2003 national championship. After his career down in Charlottesville, Johnny was then drafted in the 2005 NLL draft to the Philadelphia Wings in the 5th round. And he continued to play field and was drafted 5th overall in the MLL draft to the Boston Cannons. He is now the current lacrosse coach at De La Salle High School in California. 2002, we got Kyle Dowd, midfielder at a Northport, attended Hopkins. Actually made 3 Final Four and 2 national championship game appearances in his career. But when stepping foot on Hopkins campus, his career didn't really take off. He played his first 2 years at Hopkins, where he only scored 13 goals and had 3 assists. After his sophomore campaign, he then decided to transfer to Duke and scored 20 goals with 11 assists. He is now the current head of the Musket Group. 2003, we have well-known Matt Danowski, attackman out of Farmingdale, New York, attended Duke. A 4-year letterman of Farmingdale, a 3-time All-American, finished his career with 170 goals and 208 assists. While arriving at Durham, he didn't waste any time. He ended up being a 4-time All-American. He won the Torton Award in 2007, and at the time, currently led Division I in scoring with 353. That recently got broken by Chris Gray. Roll the clip.
There it is, folks. Mitch Pehlke down here in Chapel Hill winning lax.
At Duke, he obviously played for his father, John Danowski. Matt is currently an assistant under his father at Duke. 2004, Dan Cocoziello, definitely messed that up. Defenseman at a Del Barton, attended Princeton. He actually was such a stud at football that he actually got an offer to play linebacker at Hofstra. While Dan was at Princeton, he was the Rookie of the Year in 2005, a 3-time All-American, and helped Princeton earn an Ivy League championship. He is now the Principal and Chief Operating Officer at Advanced Realty Investors. 2005, we have Danny Gladding, attackman at a Georgetown Prep, attended UVA. In high school, Gladding played for powerhouse Georgetown Prep. Gladding's first year in Charlottesville, he helped lead UVA to the national championship in 2006. He was a 3-time All-American and a finalist for the 2009 Torton Award. Gladding finished 7th in career points, only behind the one and only Kevin Pehlke. Gladding was always awesome to watch play. Obviously, growing up with my dad being a Wahoo, I knew very much about Danny and always watched his highlights growing up. The Bayhawks selected Gladding with the 5th overall pick in the 2009 MLL draft. He currently works for the Brown Advisory in Bethesda, Maryland. 2006, we have Andrew Brancaccio, midfielder at a Georgetown Prep, attended Georgetown. Helped lead Prep to IAC titles in 2003 and 2006. Played basketball for 2 years and was actually coached by famous Hoya Dwayne Bryant. Was a 4-year standout at Georgetown Prep. Scored 57 goals as a senior and set a school record for midfielders. Got to Georgetown and was more of a role player. His career never really took off. He is now currently the regional director at Prudential. 2007, we have the well-known Shamel Bratton, midfielder at a Huntington in New York, attended UVA. Shamel and his brother Ramel were one of the biggest lacrosse recruits to ever come out of the circuit. As seniors, led Huntington High School to a winning streak of 62 straight games. That does not happen. Obviously, at the end of that year, Inside Lacrosse ranked them as the #1 high school in America. Fun fact, actually, Shamel and his twin brother Ramel were actually originally committed to Duke, but they had their whole scandal and the brothers flipped to UVA. When Shamel and his twin brother stepped down in Charlottesville, they always had issues on and off the field. Former UVA coach Dom Starzia suspended both of the brothers multiple times. They were always violating team rules on and off the field. When Shamel and Ramel were ultimately seniors at UVA, the team decided to vote the brothers off the team. And that was a wrap on those guys. You never really heard anything about them. Shamel currently works as a tech recruiter for Salesforce. 2008, we have, in my humble opinion, the best player on this list, Steele Stanwick, attackman at a Loyola Blakefield, attended UVA. Steele broke every record at Loyola Blakefield, won them an MIA championship, and ultimately got inducted into the Loyola Hall of Fame. While down there in Charlottesville, Steele led the UVA team to a national championship in 2011, won the Teton Award in 2011, got to the pros and didn't stop, won the MLO championship in 2019, and was a two-time All-Star. The Stanwick family is by far the most famous family in lacrosse. With the oldest sister, Sheehan, played at Georgetown, was a four-time All-American, and currently leads the program in scoring. Wick Stanwick played lacrosse at Georgetown, was a two-time All-American, and finished number 5 in school history in scoring. Coco Stanwick played at Georgetown, was a 3-time All-American, and finished number 3 in program history in scoring. Tad Stanwick played at Rutgers, was a 4-year starter and a team captain. Steele obviously played at UVA, was a 3-time All-American, won the Teton Award, won a national championship, and currently still leads UVA in points. Wells Stanwick played at Hopkins, was a 3-time All-American and number 2 in school history in assists. Covey Stanwick played at Boston College, was a 3-time All-American and a program leader in scoring. And finally, Shaq Stanwick played at Johns Hopkins, was a 2-time All-American, and is currently ranked 11th in school history in assists. Another fun fact, collectively as a family, they've produced 1,900 points. I can tell you right now that number will never be broken. Steele is currently a specialist for KLNB. A little intermission here for Frog. You see it, the best merch in the world, MitchellPehlke.com, Lax Frog, hoodies, stickers, graphic tees. Get your merch, MitchellPehlke.com. Some of the best stuff out there. 2009, we have John Greenley, midfielder out of Lafayette High School, attended Johns Hopkins. This guy was an absolute stud in high school. I can remember flipping through the Inside Lacrosse magazines as a little lax rat and always seeing this guy's name. He totaled 175 goals and 127 assists during his 4 years as a varsity starter, was a 2-time All-American and an Under Armour All-American as a senior. But when he stepped down in Baltimore for Johns Hopkins, his career got off to a slow start. He battled with some knee problems. His senior year was his best year by far, finishing 8th on the team in scoring with 7 goals and 7 assists, despite missing the last 4 games due to an injury. He's currently a CRM sales specialist at Novartis. 2010, we have Nicky Galasso, attackman out of West Islip, attended UNC. Now we're getting to the age of YouTube. I mean, talk about watching this guy's highlights on repeat. This guy will forever be a Long Island legend. Started playing varsity lacrosse in 8th grade and was an attackman for 5 years at West Islip. A 3-time high school All-American, Long Island Player of the Year, held a Long Island record of 500 career points, but that was recently broken by Joey Spallina. As a freshman at UNC, Inside Lacrosse ranked him as all freshman selection, set a school record for freshmen in points at UNC with 56 in a season, but during his sophomore debut in a conditioning session, he fractured his foot. During that year, he only saw time on Man Up, and his career kind of went downhill from there. He then transferred back home to Syracuse to be closer to home, and never really found his footing again. His senior year at Syracuse, he found some rhythm again. He finished 2nd on the team in scoring. He's currently a sales rep for BSN Sports. 2011, we have well-known Lyle Thompson, attackman out of Lafayette High School, attended Albany. This guy, along with his brother Miles and cousin Ty, the trio at Albany that forever changed college lacrosse in the way we play. Lyles was a 4-time All-American in high school at Lafayette. He finished his career with 511 points in high school. That's insane. These guys not only were great at the sport, but they transformed how we play. Ever since that, guys now throw backhands because of Lyle. These guys, without a doubt, had the biggest impact on the field and off the field this sport has seen in a long time, honestly, since Gary Gate. At Albany, Lyles was a 2-time Teton Trophy winner in 2014 and 15, and arguably finished his career playing the best college lacrosse game of all time. I remember watching that game as a young buck in middle school. I wanted Albany to win so bad, and then Matt Cavanaugh put the sealer on him. Roll the clip.
Senses the double. Keeps coming. Cavanaugh. Ball game! Matty!
Lyle left upstate New York and was drafted number 1 in the MLO and NLO draft. He's currently an attackman for the Boston Cannons and Georgia Swarm. 2012, we have Case Matheis out of Darien High School, attended Duke. You know, truthfully, I think this is one of the most underrated guys and a name we forget about often because after his career didn't play much pro ball, got into the working force, but this is one of the best players, I'd say top 5, top 3 on this list. Holds a Darien High School for goals, assists, and points altogether. He ultimately tallied together 355 points. He arrived on Durham and did not skip a beat. He was a 4-year starter at Duke and finished with 95 goals and 95 assists for 190 points. He's currently tied 15th in career points and 7th in career assists at Duke, and winning 2 national championships for the Blue Devils. He is currently the director at Blue Elephant Capital Management. 2013, we arguably have the biggest bust on this list. Jordan Evans, attackman at a Jamesville DeWitt High School, attended Syracuse. This guy was an ultimate stud in high school. He currently owns a Jamesville DeWitt career record for points of 401. Matt Rambo is ranked second in this class. He got to Syracuse wearing number 22 and truthfully could not handle the pressure. His career never really took off. He had a couple injuries here and there, but never really did anything at the college level. His senior year, he had 19 goals and 25 assists, ranked third on the team with 44 points. He currently works as a planning consultant for Fidelity Investments. 2014, we have Steele Stanwick, attackman out of Boys Latin, attended Johns Hopkins. Yes, another Stanwick. In high school, led Boys Latin to an 18-0 record and a prestigious MIA championship while being ranked, obviously, the #1 ranked recruit in the nation. While arriving at Johns Hopkins, he did not waste any time. Shaq was a 2-time Big Ten champion, finished 11th in school history in assists and 22nd in points, was one of only 12 players in school history with 30 or more assists in a single season, has a career total of 209 points at Johns Hopkins. He is currently an associate at Northmark. 2015, we have Ryan Conrad, midfielder out of Loyola Blakefield, attended UVA. This guy was one of the most two-way midfielders I've ever seen play. A guy that when had the ball on offense, you knew he was going to score, but when got back on defense, you just knew he would be fine. Was an absolute beast at Loyola Blakefield. Was selected to the Under Armour All-American Senior Game and actually received MVP there. While at UVA, he won a national championship, finished with 31 goals and 18 assists with 49 points. One of the only players with 13 points and 70+ ground balls. Again, a weird stat that I don't think will ever be broken again. His 49 points are tied for #3 all-time at UVA for a single season by a midfielder. He is currently in the PLL and plays for the Atlas. 2016, we travel north. We have Jeff Teat out of the Hill Academy, attended Cornell. Absolutely dominated high school lacrosse. Attending the Hill Academy, a very prestigious and powerhouse lacrosse school in Canada, was an Under Armour All-American selection and a member of the Team Canada U19 team. My freshman year at Ohio State, he was actually a senior at Cornell, and he was legit. I think he had like 4 or 5 goals on us. He's currently regarded as one of the best lacrosse players in the world for indoor and outdoor lacrosse. Goes to Cornell and absolutely kills it. Was a 3-time All-American and finished 3 in all-time assists and points at Cornell without even having a senior season. COVID. Was then drafted #1 overall in the PLL and NLL draft. He's a 2-time All-Star and Rookie of the Year in the PLL and Rookie of the Year in the NLL. He currently plays for the Atlas and the New York Riptide while coaching his alma mater, the Hill. I actually just filmed a video with him over December. Check it out right here. You're gonna love it. 2017, we have highlight reel Tehoka Nanticoke, attackman out of IMG Academy, attended Albany. This guy was an absolute walking highlight reel. I swear to God, when I was in high school, I was a sophomore at this time. Every time I was on Instagram, bam, a new highlight. Attended well-known IMG Academy and was an Under Armour All-American. He chose to play at University of Albany and did not skip a beat as a freshman. In Tehoka's first season, he finished with 49 goals and 32 assists. The following semester, though, Tehoka did not take part in the men's lacrosse team. He was not enrolled in the university. He was dealing with stuff on and off the field and ultimately was not there from a GPA perspective. In 2021, it was reported that Tehoka was dismissed from the Albany men's lacrosse program. He is currently a forward for the NLL Bandits, but is currently not on a PLL roster. 2018, we have Joey Epstein, attackman out of Landon, attended Johns Hopkins. Joey, only being a year older than me, an hour down the road, I looked up to this guy. He was legit ex-attackman and a guy that always found the net. He's currently the points leader at Landon High School at 336 and got invited to be a part of the Under Armour All-American game. Arriving in Baltimore, Joey did not skip a beat, being awarded Big Ten Freshman of the Year, set a Johns Hopkins freshman record with 48 goals and 73 points in 2019. During his sophomore debut, Joey suffered from a lower body injury and really never fully came back to his full potential. Struggled with staying in the lineup and as a senior was a consistent second line midi and just never got to his full freshman self. This is something I didn't realize and something that shows you here that at the Division I level, injuries are real. Joey is currently still studying and enrolled in the prestigious Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies. 2019, we have Connor Shellenberger, attackman out of St. Anne's Belfield, attended UVA. This is the year I graduated high school. Everybody knew that this kid was going to be #1 in the nation. You could just tell. I played against him in every single club tournament, it felt like. He was Mad Lax, I was FCA, and we always saw each other in the semifinals or the championship. He played attack with one of my best friends, Taylor Musa, and I always saw this guy in the summer circuit. Shelley originally committed to Johns Hopkins before he switched to UVA. He actually went to both St. Anne's Belfield. For his junior year, went to Bullis with that wicked sick team. They ended up winning a WCAC title, but then for his senior year, came back home to St. Anne's Belfield. During his freshman year at UVA, actually decided to redshirt, but again, it didn't matter because everyone got a redshirt that year because of the coronavirus. His sophomore year and ultimately his college debut season, he killed it and led UVA to a national championship in 2021. Connor Shellenberger will go down as one of the best ever. He recently got ranked by Inside Lacrosse as the best college lacrosse player, men's and women's, to play this season. 2020, we have famous Brennan O'Neill, attackman attackman out of St. Anthony's High School, attends Duke. Arguably, in my opinion, the biggest high school recruit to ever come out of the circuit. You guys have probably heard of his name. He was the earliest commit ever, committed to Penn State in 8th grade. The recruiting rules obviously got changed. When recruiting was back open, he decommitted from Penn State and committed to Duke. At St. Anthony's, broke every record possible in so many state titles, one for this generation. Stepping foot on Duke's campus, Brennan did not miss a beat. He was an ACC Freshman of the Year and All-American. In his sophomore campaign, he was also an All-American as well. He's one of the top 3 players in the entire nation. 2021, we have big body Griffin Schutz, midfielder out of Deerfield, attends UVA. A dominant New England lacrosse player out of Deerfield. He actually built his own weight room in his dorm room at Deerfield during the COVID year. This guy is huge. He's killing it this season. You guys have probably seen a bunch of highlights, but a pivotal midfielder for that UVA offense. Fun fact, actually, Andrew McAdory was always ranked number 1 in this class, but recently got switched before their senior year, with Schutz being 1 and McAdory being 2. As a freshman, finished with 23 goals, number 2 in UVA's all-time midfielder freshman list. 2022, we have Joey Spallina, attackman out of Mount Sinai, currently at Syracuse. This guy is one of the biggest named recruits ever. He played 2 years up with Brennan O'Neill, Andrew McAdory on that legendary 91 Crush team. This could go down as the best travel team ever. This documentary is actually pretty cool about the squad. Absolutely killed it at Mount Sinai. Was a 2-time Long Island Player of the Year, named MVP of the Under Armour All-American Senior Game, and currently holds the Long Island points record for 501 points in a career. What? His dad, Joe Spallina, is a legendary coach for the women's team at Stony Brook. Currently a freshman at Syracuse wearing the legendary 22, and he's living up to the hype. He's currently racked up 17 goals and 10 assists in his career. 2023, we have McCabe Million, attackman out of McDonough High School, committed to UVA. Obviously, the last name rings a bell. His dad was an absolute legend back in the day, Mark Millen. Killed it at UMass and had a long pro career. McCabe was actually originally committed to Duke, but then flipped to UVA. Millen's coming off a strong junior campaign this past spring where he put up 50 goals and 28 assists, helping the Eagles to an MIA title. He's currently in a senior campaign trying to bring McDonough to a back-to-back MIA titles. 2024, we have Ryan Duenkel, attackman out of St. John's High School, committed to UVA. I just did a video with him this past winter break. Check this out. An awesome kid. Played on the best high school team in the nation last year, St. John's. Absolutely killed it. Went through the recruiting process this past September 1st, and Lars was on his doorstep September 1, and he committed a few days later. Racked up 59 goals and 29 assists as a sophomore for the best high school team in the nation, and is currently in his junior campaign at St. John's, where they look to go back-to-back. Let me know in the comments below who lived up to the hype and who was the biggest bust. New video every Tuesday at 5. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.